Oh, and I met the guy from Halo. I just randomly...
You met the guy from Halo.
I know this story, so you're on your own on this one, Gus.
You met the guy from Halo.
Hey,
you
Gus.
met the voice of Master Chief.
I met the guy from Halo.
Voice of Master Chief.
No, you're wrong. The guy from Halo.
Sergeant
Come on.
Johnson.
The guy from yeah, it's Sergeant Johnson.
Nope.
Name the dude in Halo whose voice you have heard the most.
Oh. Can I?
Yeah. Go for it, Blaine.
Well, I don't know his name. He was in The Thing. It's the Arbiter's voice.
Keith David.
Keith David.
No.
When you said
All that effort for all that effort for your
Who is it?
Gavin met Jeff Steitzer.
He's
Who the hell
the announcer for multiplayer.
He's the Halo
okay.
multiplayer
Double
guy.
kill. He's that guy.
Nice.
He was I was doing a thing there, and he just walked in behind me. I didn't see him. I just heard his voice. I was like, hang on a second. And it was him, because I knew what he looked
You
like.
just recognized him by voice?
I recognized him by his voice. And then I asked him for a
But did he walk in and say double kill? Like, or what?
No, he was just talking normally, but it had sort of the same kind of feel as his...
That rich velvety
Yeah.
feel.
Sort of, coated in velvet. So I asked him for a picture, and he looked at me very confused, and he was like, okay. And I was like, I played a lot of Halo. And he was like, oh, no one ever asked me for pictures. Yeah. Go
Really?
Yeah.
Probably recordings.
God, we tried to get him for an episode of Immersion that we just never... It was a concept, but we just never worked it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was going to follow... When Jeff and Gus were the lab rats, he was going to follow them around all day announcing their day. When they went to lunch and everything, he was going to do that to see if like having that voice follow you around would actually drive you slowly insane.
I wonder what...
Or motivate you more
Yeah.
to do better.
Like women having sex with him, if it's like...
Go ahead.
You know, well, like, he's like calling out what's happening. Like, I don't know.
What would be an event that you would call out
calling
sex?
out-
Yeah,
what's
okay, now I'm trying to
happening?
think of... I would find excuses if I had that voice. I'd find
Position
excuses.
change.
Cowgirl.
Break.
Squirt.
Plan B.
Orgasm.
Oops.
Double queef.
Premature.
Sorry.
We could
Patrick
go on
laughed
all
at
day.
that one.
Okay,
Apparently,
so
though, they
there are
always-
things you could call out.
Apparently, they always...
Really, we just came up with a bunch of them. I always want to get that guy, Jeff Steitzer. You say Steitzer? Is that how you...
I think that's his name.
Stietzer? I always wanted to get him to record all of my like computer sounds, like mail, like you've got mail or double mail, over mail, or something like that. I wanted all that stuff.
Millionaire.
Yeah, and in fact, millionaire. Gavin and I got really happy one time.
We went and got happy together.
We got happy together because after we made Griff Ball,
Yeah.
years later, he said Griff Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got really excited by that because they put it in the game,
Oh,
and
I
then
should have mentioned that to him.
they actually had him say Griff Ball, which now I guess would be Ricochet. Does he
Yeah.
say Ricochet? I guess he
I don't
does.
know. In Halo 5, he announces a lot more stuff. Like some of the stuff that was just a silent medal in
Like
previous
what?
games.
Loading.
Bang, bang, bang.
Step.
Turn left.
180.
Camper.
Crouch.
Is there a reason that your watch is on the wrong side of your wrist?
It's the wrong side. I don't know. It's more comfortable that way, I guess. I feel like it's more natural to do this than to do this.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, it is actually hard to like look at the backs of your wrist. It's a lot easier to look at the underside of your wrist.
Plus, like I'm.
Look at your hand.
I walk around
Look at
like
your
a
other hand.
fucking gorilla. Huh? What am I doing?
No, look at the underside of your wrist. Which force feels more natural to you?
This.
This?
Like, this is the way up I am. This is the top. If I was upside down,
Gavin's
that
pulling
No, I
his hands
think
out like
top
he's
would be
typing.
like this, like sideways, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like I feel like I have to twist my arm like
Yeah,
that to
like-
see the top of it.
Yeah. And then,
Like-
okay, so you sit down, you put your arms down.
Like this almost borderline hurts. Like if I went any further, it would hurt. But
Gavin,
this
look
is
at
fine.
put your arms out like you did before. Your watch is not facing your face. Your watch is facing away from you.
Well, that's just because my wrist is small.
It's a nice watch.
No.
There you go.
That's the way mine is too. Mine faces away from me, and I have to twist to get it to face me.
But also,
Whereas
I
this, if I hold like this, it's actually facing me.
Who determined what wrist people are supposed to wear their watch on?
It's your handedness.
It's the one you don't write with.
It's the one you don't write
Yeah, because
with.
right
Yeah.
hand.
Use
But
your
why?
most dexterous hand to put the
Because
thing on.
if I had my watch on my right hand and I was writing, it'd be all clunky and scratching the paper.
Yeah, but we don't write anymore.
Oh, it's wow. God, I can't think the last time I actually wrote something.
See, Gus just misdirected you because he didn't see the obvious.
See,
as soon
it's
as
the old Gus Shuffle.
as soon as we started to point out the
it's
obvious
a
thing, he's
pretty
like, "Oh yeah, wait, Blaine is dumb."
It's like,
go
look
that
over
direction.
here.
There's only a short window you have to do that, though. When you have to admit you're dumb, you only have like 5 seconds to be like,
Go
"What?"
back and notice how smooth that transition was too. He didn't. There was no tell or
Yeah.
anything like that.
I reckon there is. If we like zoomed on his
You
face,
guys
I bet
know me too long. Blaine's
I don't-
Blaine's
no.
still the newer guy.
I'm learning. If we're being completely honest, Bruce Willis, if you go watch any of his movies, he wears his
Oh,
watch
really?
face in.
So it's inspired by Bruce Willis?
Yeah, that, but it's also, it seems right, and then I'm also like, I clunk my watch face into stuff, so if it's like, it's protected, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, how's your birthday?
Okay, quick criticism.
Oh, yeah.
In the future, just drop the Bruce Willis story. Go with the original one of just like, I just do it this way.
But Bruce
Works
Willis
better.
is awesome.
Sort of. like-
Maybe kids in future will be saying they do it because Blaine does it.
Yeah.
It maintains its position based on GPS.
Elevation as well?
Yeah, like maintains its position. It just like sits there. And it'll tell you like on the remote like how many satellites are synced up to it, like 8
Does
satellites.
GPS move?
Does GPS move?
Hold on,
Gus?
wait. We're figuring this one out. Does GPS move?
Okay.
Does it have to compensate for satellites that are moving in orbit?
Right. It's a moving planet and moving satellites. I'm gonna go with that. Some kind of like movement of satellites.
Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, like does the rotation of the Earth change the GPS? Like, would it just like go around the Earth?
Does
What?
I think the GPS satellites are geosynchronous.
Right. Okay.
I don't think it has to
Explains
compensate for the rotation of the Earth. It has a 25-minute flight time total, so the Earth's not going that far.
If you wanted it to, okay, say you had a drone, but you wanted it to stay.
Hold on, I'll do this with you. I'll role play. I have a drone.
I want you to hover it in space,
Let's do that.
not in relation to any object in space. Just hover it.
Doesn't everything hover in space? All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
So just put it in space,
Yes.
Like-
irrelevant of the Earth.
okay.
How fast would it go? Like,
I just think it's a matter of acceleration in time at that point because nothing's
What?
slowing it down.
what do you mean?
Well, first of all, it's propellers. Nothing would happen. Gavin, you ask me a question, and then when I answer the question, you say you act like I'm an idiot who
You
just
said
made
it's
up a-
about time.
What? It's a matter of acceleration and time. How fast it goes is just how fast is it accelerating and how much time. That's it. You understand what acceleration is, right? Do I explain acceleration to you?
Mm-hmm.
So it has no velocity. If you give it some velocity and continue to give it some acceleration, it will increase in velocity over time.
But we don't want any velocity.
So
He
you
ju-
just
he
put
just
it
wants
still,
it to-
then
he-
zero.
What do you mean? What? I wasn't asking a question that was answered with a number.
Gus,
Okay, no. The question is, if you could make your drone hover in space,
Yeah.
would it hover in space?
yes, it would just sit there.
There.
If I put it in a vacuum in space and it's no gravity, it would float in where it is.
But
It
the
doesn't
Earth,
have
Is
to
that
be a
what you were
drone.
asking?
no, but
It
the
could
Earth.
just be the letter D. That's, everything would do that.
All I'm saying is, say I put this here,
Yep.
but then I let it stick where it is in space.
Oh no! And
The
you say the
Earth-
Earth keeps going?
The Earth would carry on. How quickly would this thing bugger off? Would it be like a bullet?
Do they? Yes, because
How fast are we spinning?
it's not. No, I don't think it has anything to do with the rotation of the Earth. Even though the rotation of the Earth is great, you're taking everything out of the factor, out of the relevance of this object. I think the greater velocity is the velocity of the planet, like out from the center of the universe. Isn't that?
So-
What's the greater velocity for the Earth?
So the planet moving away from the Big Bang
right.
and the whole solar system moving is greater than the 20 or something thousand miles an hour that we're spinning.
I think
I
we're
think
traveling
so.
much further than
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And
I
how
actually-
could you lock anything to just be still? Like, how do you measure stillness?
It's in relation to the Earth.
But the Earth's moving.
Right, but we're on the Earth.
Yeah. This is the same thing. This is
So
this
we're
is
not
a
talking
greater
about-
extension of our upside down argument about Michael being upside down in Australia.
Which he was.
Sure
So
he is.
We're not
You're
talking
absolutely right.
about movement in relation to like that
Philistine.
fixed point in space.
Can we just pick a column?
But how do you find a fixed point in space
Go
and
with a
keep
pillar.
a point? Like, how do you measure stillness
I don't
in
know.
the universe?
I'm not.
Would you have
I'm
to
not a
look at-
space, I'm not a space guy.
That's how you do it. You just don't do it. You never
So there's
measure
no
stillness
such
in the universe.
there's no such thing as being still, even if you want
I
it
guess
to be.
the center of the universe, the dead ass center, is still, and everything else is in motion.
All right.
Away from it. Like that would be weird. Like there's the exact center of the universe. It's a dot. Let's call it a point, right? That's the center of the universe. Everything went and went out from there,
Yeah.
right? What's like 1 inch away from that? Nothing? Or is like something like exploded and it's like over the course of the last 6 trillion years, it's moved like an inch. Like it doesn't,
Something
it
that's
doesn't somehow
right.
get any of the energy. It's like slowly creeping out. Or it's like everything like billions of miles away from the center of the universe. It's just a big
Well,
void
yeah,
of
there has to be
nothing.
one thing that is the closest thing to the middle of the universe, like a piece of dust or something.
God, you know what? That reminds me. We're going to bring this back down to earth. Somebody said, made a comment in Shower Thoughts. You ever read Shower Thoughts?
Yeah.
Somebody said that unknowingly, somewhere in the world, somebody takes the biggest poop on Earth that day. Every single day that happens. Every single
I feel
day.
like you would know.
I think you might know when you're a contender, but I don't know if you actually take the belt. How would you know?
I think I had. God, oddly enough, I had like a similar tweet a few weeks ago where I said, "There's someone in the world right now with the world's longest pubic hair." Like that person is alive.
They have
They've got a fucking long ass pubic hair.
There might be some ties for that.
Nah, there's no tie.
And like, how
Depending on
long
precision.
is it? Like, I really started wondering about it.
Does hair
Yeah.
stop growing after a certain point?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure it does.
Like I feel like my pubes, like once they get like, you know,
Well, they
just
fall
kinda
out.
just hang out.
It would fall out
Just
probably, and
stop.
then the next longest one would be your longest pube.
I used to have one eyebrow that would grow longer than everything else. I'm just making a big measurement here, like that big. I had one eyebrow hair that would grow longer than everything else, but it only did it for like a year.
I do too. We obviously are. You can't zoom in or anything, but I've got one right here in the middle. Not only does it grow longer, but it's like darker and thicker than the other one.
I can see it. I can see it.
It's like
I could pluck it.
yeah, it's like serious. And when the fucking barber trimmed my eyebrows the other day, the other week, it was like it was a casualty. Like now it's into the same length as all the other ones,
The
but it's
person
just
giving
like
him a
thicker
haircut
and darker.
just started trimming his eyebrows with scissors.
You dented his.
Scary.
I asked a question on Twitter the other day, and everyone thought I was an idiot for asking it. But I was being serious in my question. Was the human brain the only thing that's ever named itself?
Someone responded Pokemon, but that was silly.
Everyone was talking about Pokemon. I was like, well, funnily enough, someone named all those Pokemon. Someone
writer-
else's brain did that.
Yeah, no, the brain named itself. That's the weird thing about the brain. It's the only. I can't imagine how would anything else name
Sure,
itself.
computer. I'm sure there's like a computer that maybe
a possibility.
named itself.
What, like programmed with a random
But that would give it
generator?
itself a
Sentient.
proper name, right? It would give it. I mean, if it hasn't happened, I don't think. But if it does happen, it would be.
But then people were going smaller than that, and like, what is the brain? And the brain is just atoms. So technically, atoms named themselves.
Well,
'Cause
atoms
thoughts-
are electrons and protons, so electrons and protons and neutrons name themselves.
It is an interesting debate.
It's
that-
just an asshole thing to say. Atoms make up the. It's fucking.
Hey, speaking of assholes and technology that's dumb, so the
Poo-poo
Zillow.com, according to them, the White House is worth $320 million.
What?
That if you want to buy the White House, it would be $320 million.
Nah.
If
Is that-
it was on the market as a regular old house,
Right.
But if
So
I,
they're just
if I-
talking
if I
about-
paid cash, could I get it for 300?
maybe. It depends how long you bet on the market.
I think they're talking about like structurally, you know, like
worst,
the
burpiest
materials that go into it and stuff.
Thank you
Right
for not
at me.
repeating structurally.
Historically,
Thank you for integrating the burp into the sentence.
You're welcome. Historically, I think it's valued at much more. You know.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Think
they're
of all
like.
the shit that's gone down in the White House.
No, yeah.
Presidents have fucked in the White House.
Yeah, they have.
Every president has fucked in the White
George
House.
don't know
W.
if that's
Bush
true.
was probably
Except for maybe,
conceived in the White
Hoover.
House. No, he wasn't.
You don't
Oh.
know that everyone's shagged in there.
Why? I was to say William Henry Harrison died so fast and he was sick, so maybe he didn't.
Do you reckon he jerked it instead?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he was on a treadmill jerking it.
Think of how much like presidential sperm is in that place.
Good lord.
To this day,
To this day, like, they don't have a fucking cleaning crew cleaning shit up.
I don't know.
Fucking-
They
take
want to
the
leave their
sheets
mark.
And they put it in
If
glass.
I was president, on my last day, I would come somewhere
Sure.
really weird and see if I could see it later.
When would you go back? Ever?
You
You
they go back all the
Clinton's
time.
not been back to the White House?
Yeah. Have you
Go.
seen the pictures in the Oval Office with all the presidents hanging out and being bros?
So, honestly, if you're president,
They're like-
the first question you're asking is the old president, where'd you come before you left? Tell me right now.
Mr.
I bet it's
President,
like one of those high school books that you find like under a shelf in the library of like all the students who have been there before.
yeah, it's
all
like,
the
Mr.
comments.
President, why are you going through the old books? It's like, hold on, I'm looking for my favorite page.
Except
No, like all
not
the
as
presidents have
heartfelt-
written down where they came.
Except not as heartfelt and innocent as the example you just used. Instead, it's like random cum stains from presidents.
No, they wouldn't come in the book. They would write down where they came in the book.
Why not
like a
both?
log of it?
Yeah. Like on your way out, you jizz somewhere and you write down where you did it.
Phil Clinton's
But-
just a
and
list
then
of
the next-
names.
Yeah.
The next president can't look at it until their last day.
Yeah.
It's like they have no idea where it
Yeah,
was.
they're
And
just
they're
like,
like,
they're looking through, they're like, oh, you got me on that one. It was on my favorite cushion.
I wonder what the weirdest thing that's happened in the White House would be.
Everyone, like, when the old presidents all get together, they go to Ford and go, seriously, you got to tell us. Top of the chimney? Come on. How'd you do that?
How'd you do that?
How'd you achieve that?
I reckon like it's funny to picture presidents having like diarrhea and stuff.
That one president like got stuck in a bathtub, didn't he?
Taft?
Taft, was it? Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
Taft was the
stuck in a
biggest one.
bar?
He was so fucking huge that he got stuck in a bathtub.
I saw, speaking of your diarrhea thing,
dude.
I saw this series of paintings that someone did and they posted online of like all world leaders like on a toilet.
Oh, I saw that with the Queen on there. And everything.
Yeah.
Wait,
And I
are these
think
actual? They're not paintings.
No,
paintings.
they're just paintings. Yeah, it's like
I was like, how do they do that?
it was just, and they called it like everybody's human or something
Yeah.
like that.
You know, in a kind of a weird way, it goes back to the discussion we were having about Google Glass, which we got off of really fast, which is essentially, I think Glass went away because people just hated it so much. I hate Google Glass. I love all kinds of technology. Like I have an Oculus Rift, and I got that dumb drone, and that
You
stupid
don't have to call it
flashlight.
dumb. It's a cool drone.
No, I know, but it's just dumb. It's a dumb thing.
Like you don't need it.
I don't need it. Yeah. It's like it's gonna make my life fun, but not like improve the quality of my life. It's not like having antibiotics. It's not the same level as that. And like Google Glass is a thing that's just also kind of dumb. It might make your life more fun and a little bit easier. But it's like there's something about it that people just naturally rejected. And for me, it was like
It was the camera in people's
yeah,
faces.
that's what I think it was. I didn't like the idea that anyone could be around recording at all points in time.
Like if I walked around with a GoPro like this, filming everyone,
I'd hate
people would
you.
be like, "Put it down."
But if I walked around with my phone like this, if I walked around like this all the time, I wouldn't assume. I have a camera pointing at you.
I feel guilty in public when I'm like texting or using my phone, and if I'm doing it like this and it's pointed at someone, I feel like very self-conscious about it. I feel like I always have to point my phone down.
I don't.
That way people don't
Do you
think
really?
that
Are
I'm.
you that self-conscious?
Yes.
When you're in a retail store,
Oh,
do you
let
think
me
you
tell
have
you-
to present yourself in a way that shows the staff that you're not stealing
Let me-
something?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Wait, what? What does that mean? What?
I'm very self-conscious about my hands and
Like
about
he just
reaching
has
into
to
my
make sure he
pockets.
doesn't like have suspicious.
See, I'm
Maneuvers.
the opposite. I want to be questioned and then be turned out to be innocent.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to deal with that.
When I'm around like police officers, I act like a different way because I don't want them to think.
I think
bad
you'll
of
find
me.
everything is in order. It's so satisfying going through procedure and passing. I love that. Like whenever they search your bag at the airport. I mean, it's annoying.
Up to a line.
Yeah.
If they're sticking their hand up your butt and you're like, see, told you.
Jokes on
Nothing.
you, stinky fingers.
Now you got to take that glove off and throw it away.
I actually went out and flew the drone in downtown Austin because I really, like even said to the kids, we're probably not going to be able to do this for very long.
I agree.
They're probably going to put a limit on where you can fly these drones.
Probably.
I saw Christmas Day. I saw there was a whole Tumblr blog about dads and their drones ruining Christmas. And it's like all different levels of drones. And like it was like a big gift this year. And next year it'll probably be like everybody will have like.
Also, how
Tickle me
close? How close to the airport can you fly a drone? Like planes come in low over roads.
Here's what I learned. I learned, thanks to the instruction manual on this thing, that there are GPS zones which are specified as no-fly zones for RC stuff.
And does the drone
And the drone will not fly
automatically-
in those areas.
It just won't let you.
It just it's built into it that it won't fly in those
That's
areas.
awesome.
I could probably hack it out of it, but
Why would you? Yeah,
why would
don't.
I? No, well, if I had devious purposes, maybe.
Right.
It's probably got like a database in it, like a massive. I wonder how much memory is in that thing. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could
got-
be
it's-
tons. I mean,
it
you can
gets-
get fucking 256 gigs like this big now, you know?
Drones are gonna like be just shitty. Like the more common they get, like can you imagine being in like a high-rise apartment,
Totally agree with you.
you know, and then you're just like you just come out of the shower and there's a fucking drone or like several drones. Like
I can just imagine it like it's gonna be like Fifth Element where there's just crap just flying all over
Oh,
the
it's
place.
gonna be like
There's
this.
gonna be drone traffic.
I mean, we have that now. When you look at the skyline, you see like power lines everywhere. You don't really notice power lines until you look for them, and they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And pretty soon it'll be like that, but like up to like 500 feet. It'll be just random.
You know what else is
garbage.
everywhere in an airport? The sprinklers on the ceiling. If you look at how many there are, there's like hundreds in every room.
But that's good though.
It's like that in every building, though, isn't it?
But it's
I don't know. I was just
overkill.
at LAX. They were
I'm
like
with Gavin,
they
it's
were like
overkill.
3 feet apart in every direction from each other. It's like this place is gonna drown. It's gonna fill up.
Something happened like in the early 1900s or the 1800s where people got like overconfident with fire. Like, oh, the building's on fire. Let's not get out of the building. Let's, do whatever. And then hang out for a little bit or maybe like,
Who wanted to hang out in a fire?
that's what I'm saying. Something happened and they set all these rules for fire. Like here at the building at Stage 5, we have to have like a buffer around the entire building for a fire lane. And like there's fire lanes for cars and everything like that. But like I'm saying, like, in a building, like you can't stand in front of a fire exit. You can't stand there because
sure that's all for
you're
insurance.
blocking a fire exit.
Isn't that just
As
insurance
Mitch Hedberg said,
companies?
you're a living person. If you're living in flammable, you're never blocking a fire exit. You will leave the fire exit. But it's like if a building catches on fire, you just get out of the building. There's 4 exits here. Like if this building caught on fire, how long would it take you to get out of the building?
About 2 seconds.
Right, about 2 seconds.
I wouldn't want to go to my office and grab some things. There's a couple of nice.
And that's on you at that point.
Yeah.
Go for it if you want to do it. But it's like, I don't ever feel like I'm trapped in a building. Now, if I'm in a high rise, that's a little different. But if I'm in LAX and there's a fire at LAX, is my life in danger?
No.
No,
Are
right?
you
Well,
waiting
it
for your
depends on the
bags?
fire. If a plane crashed into it and jet fuel went everywhere, you're pretty much.
You think the
done.
sprinkler's going to put out a jet crash?
It creates steam.
I love that. Skirsh. Oh, everybody's fine.
I'm sure the fire lane stuff is insurance companies constantly having to pay out, and the fire department are always like, "Yeah, we just couldn't get to the fire. The whole building went up." So the insurance company were like, "All right, put a lane around the thing. It's not for humans. It's for money."
Yeah, we need to totally rethink all that stuff. It's too much overkill with that.
Yeah.
Literally, you can't in a 1-story building or a floor level, like 4
To the
stories up.
point where you can get fined for opening a door.
Yo, you just can't occupy the building. They tell
Yeah.
you can't have a business in here because any second a fire is going to break out. And it clearly have all these rules that are based on like 1890 when everything was built out of wood and turpentine.
Yeah.
And it was like nobody was smart enough to get out. They're like, oh, I'm still going to work even though there's fire coming at me.
You know what I've discovered that goes up like a bitch? Dead Christmas trees. You just touch them with a spark and it's instantly up.
How do you know that?
We burned our Christmas tree last night.
Oh.
We don't recycle ours. We burn ours every
Viking
year.
funeral style.
It's awesome.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. They go up. He's exactly right.
I want to film one like waving it around in slow-mo and see if it looks mesmerizing.
You
That-
should have Christmas
You
lights
would not
on
be
it
able to
still.
do that.
Why?
That last night, burning a section of my Christmas tree, which I got cut into sections. It's like a 7-foot tree. So these are like maybe like foot sections, like this big. One of the sections, the needles like all caught at once, and it made a flame so high it was hitting the branches of the tree above us. Like I got the hose out and was ready to like spray it on the branches up there.
That's pretty metal.
And we got to talking about it too. How fucking hot
Is fire?
is a forest fire? Because you've all started fires at some point in your life, started a campfire. That is, you're actively trying to start a fire, and you can't do it with dry wood. It's a difficult thing to start a fire. And if somebody like chopped a tree branch off of a tree and said, "Here, light this on fire," you'd be like, "I'm not doing that. It's impossible." But
It's impossible.
but a forest is living trees that are all catching on fire. Think about how hot that is.
yeah.
It is hard to burn.
According to information provided by Natural Resources Canada, an average surface fire on the forest floor might have flames reaching 1 meter in height and can reach temperatures of 1,472 degrees Fahrenheit.
1,400 degrees. That's
or
hotter
800
than the
Celsius.
sun. It is. The sun isn't that hot. What? No way. 1,400 degrees?
The sun's way hotter
Yeah,
than
No,
that.
no way.
So you're saying the sun is twice as hot as an oven?
We can get a dude to the sun now.
I think
if
every
that's
time
the
there's a
case.
forest fire on Earth, the sun is like, Jesus, what is going on down there? It's too hot.
The sun's-
1,400 degrees is just.
The sun's
The
like
sun's
thousands.
surface temperature is 5778 Kelvin. I'm trying to find a conversion here.
Well, 0 Kelvin is absolute zero. And it's the same degrees as Celsius.
What?
So, yeah, absolute zero is 1
9940
Kelvin.
degrees Fahrenheit.
What?
9,940 degrees
thousands.
Fahrenheit.
Pretty close.
That's the surface of the sun.
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Let me
the
tell you
middle of
something.
the sun is going to be so hot you wouldn't even feel it.
Could we put a guy on the
You
sun?
wouldn't feel a
Yeah, we gotta
1,400
go at night,
degree
though.
fire either.
You wouldn't. You'd just
heard
be like,
that
I'm instantly dust.
If I give you 1,400 degrees of heat or
1,400?
9,000, you would not be able to tell the difference. It's not like Coke and Pepsi. It's like it is over the level at which you can
No.
discriminate.
No, what are you talking about? It would crisp me from way further away.
1,400 degrees?
Yeah.
What is the distance?
Well, like 1,400 degrees where you are wouldn't hurt me that much.
What? Oh, you're such a liar.
I would feel the heat. I wouldn't be dehydrated and turned into a pepperami.
Gavin is literally saying if he was about 6 or 7 feet away from a forest fire, he would be fine. You're saying you would be okay.
I'd be like this. Oh God.
Hey,
if you were
let me
9,000
Let me
degrees.
ask you a question.
Yeah.
Remember when you blew up the car?
Uh-huh.
Could you feel the heat and was it uncomfortable from that?
I can feel the heat.
How far away were you?
Like 30 feet.
That was not 1,400 degrees, I guarantee you.
How hot was it?
That was probably...
That was an explosion.
Yeah, I
You know how
guarantee
hot the inside of an explosion is? It's explosively hot.
I guarantee you it was like half the temperature.
It is
Oh,
cr-
do you?
Yeah, guaranteed.
It is crazy to think, though. that you can literally feel the heat of the sun from 93 million miles away. And you can feel like, if you think
But
about
6 feet away, it's fine.
But just think about like the sun, the way it like sends out energy too. It's like it sends it out like it's got to be so dissipated just from like going through space that far and like
cold in space.
You get like one little degree that strikes the Earth, and by the time it even reaches the Earth, it's spread out
Yeah,
so
but so
thin.
damn many of them.
I know. It's just like it's so hot. It's just like the sun is so freaking hot. This is the point we are at now at the podcast. We're talking about the sun is really hot.
It's about time to wrap up. And we're talking about this much science and this much sun and converting Kelvin to Celsius and Fahrenheit.
I still think
What's the
GPS is
hottest
a-
part of the sun?
It's the corona, isn't it?
No, I'm not asking what is it. How hot is it?
I don't know, dude. I'm trying
Look
to
it up!
What do you care? It's 9,000 degrees.
It's
dude.
9,000.
How
There you go.
hot is a nuclear explosion? 9,000 degrees?
Sure.
That seems like made up.
Yeah, but that like there's shadows in Japan where people were like, "Oh, it's a bomb," Foof, and then there's like a shadow.
They were
burns through
killed
the ground.
by the light.
I know
Okay.
we already did that.
All right, we did that one already. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching.